Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about LCX. So let's just dive in and let's start off with this video that I posted a couple weeks back. We're going to address the date on it. We're going to address the price of LCX at the time of this video. Now, I do want to ask for all those LCX holders out there, how many of you watched this video? Comment down below and also hit that like button if you did. I would love to know from you guys because at the time that I did record this video, which was 3 weeks ago now, and if we actually look at the specific time frame, December 28th, this got posted. When did LCX bottom officially? Let's go look back on the last 3 months. So looks like it bottomed out officially on the 22nd, and then on the 28th, it was essentially trailing down a little bit, but it was right around the same price range as the bottom, anyways. So, yeah, if you got into that position, you were about 3x up already, which is incredible to see. Still very, very early, in my opinion, by the way. 10x from here would be about a $750 million market cap, which is, yeah, pretty cheap for what LCX is really doing. We're going to go in depth on it. We're going to be talking about it, but love to see the chart like this. On the 1 year span, you can really kind of see the chart kind of getting back into a nice demand area. On the all-time chart, still pretty early in my opinion. I would argue that when we really kind of look at tokenization and digitization and the next evolution of this technology, I really do think that LCX is spearheading an incredible area of expertise around tokenization, and we're going to be addressing that. But when we go and look at LCX real quick on the overall Etherscan data breakdown, we could tell that the holders tab is up about 16.5K. I don't know if we talked about the holders at all or anything like that. I know that we're mainly focused on the price chart. We're actually talking about a few things as well around like, just in general tokenization. We're talking about the product offerings and stuff like that. Don't think that we really kind of talked about the holders tab, but we're sitting at about 16.5K, which is pretty early still. Still not a lot of holders just yet. In terms of markets, by the way, a lot of people are asking me like where do I buy LCX at? I was mainly buying it on Coinbase, to be honest. And yeah, I mean like that's like the only major one here, besides like Kraken, for example. So a lot of the volume right now is coming from LCX. It looks, or at least I believe, or no, okay. So so it's coming from Coinbase. Well, a large portion of it, I would assume here because it's kind of confusing on how they have this set up. It looks like LCX Exchange in terms of the euro is doing about 3.5 million, which is a lot more than Coinbase, but I guess the volume percentage is a little bit confusing here. I would argue that's most likely just a trading pair here, but I might be wrong. But nonetheless, we still have a huge opportunity in terms of a lot of listings and things like that around LCX that could definitely move the price up. In terms of the holders tab, I love to look at the overall holders tab. By the way, yes, the LCX company reserve does have 100 million in holding right now, which is totally fine. I am not too concerned about this at all. The top tier holders holding about 2%, 1.5%, 1.5%, and then after that, really just is the same exact holding rate for most of these major whales. Then we have Coinbase, Uniswap, and stuff like that, holding about roughly 8.8 million and 6.6 million, and then we also have a few other ones as well here. But nonetheless, in terms of like the top 50 and even the top 100, so you guys know me, I always love to look at like the top 50 and the top 100. We're still very, very early on because, the top 100 is holding about roughly almost $100,000 worth. And I know that a lot of people are going to be like, that's quite a bit. And yes, 100%. It is a lot, but when we compare to Ethereum and other major projects, that is really not that much. The top 500, I think, hold roughly around like, I want to say like 35K, something like that in terms of the value range, which again, comparing it to top projects, it's not that much. But again, comparing it in general, yeah, it is quite a bit of money. So yeah, the top 500, here we have the top 500. It's about $20,000, 200,000 token. So incredible to see. Still very early on. Now let's talk about a few things happening around LCX that maybe you guys don't know. So when we look at LCX and when we focus on the bigger picture, I did talk about the 10,000% possible gain that we could see, which again is a 100x opportunity. Again, that would be about like $3. The market cap for that would be under $3 billion, which is, in my opinion, achievable, and it's very, very conservative for what LCX is doing. But here we have from Monty, the CEO and founder, of regulatory requirements for centralized crypto companies to keep customer funds in segregated accounts in a bankruptcy-proof manner, prohibiting their use for the company's own accounts. This is needed. This is already the case at Liechtenstein LCX, coming to the EU with MEXC soon. And yes, as we do focus on regulatory guidelines and things put in place, LCX has been ahead of the game for a while. We actually do see him responding, saying FTX case shows what's needed in regulation. US SEC fails. Instead of arguing how to classify XRP, they should do their job protecting investors with simple regulatory frameworks. So look at Liechtenstein and Mika. The future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. And yeah, I do think that LCX is one of the most regulated exchanges out there and projects within crypto. LCX is really doing an incredible job in general as just a major leader around blockchain technology, exchange technology, and stuff like that. They're really doing everything just the right way. So I actually really love LCX. Really just being ahead of the game like that. I've always focused on this even with like QNT and stuff like that because I think that regulations is really a major focus point. And I think that the XRP SEC lawsuit really kind of put everyone on their tippy toes when they're really kind of just looking around at all of these projects and really kind of looking at the regulatory guidelines that are in place as well. And we do see over here from Monty as well, January 5th, 2023, we are going to be addressing this. JP Morgan wants to bring trillions of dollars of tokenized assets to DeFi. LCX ready to lead this space, tokenization. And yeah, when we focus on a lot of these major centralized players like JP Morgan or even BlackRock, they want to tokenize everything around stocks and bonds. And here we have from the Tokenist, BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager with $10 trillion in assets under management. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, I believe the next generation for markets for securities will be tokenization of securities. And listen closely to this video real quick, and then we will address a few things after the fact.
This technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem. You don't need trust banks.
But does that disrupt you eventually? Because you are custodying all of these assets.
No, we're not a custodian. We're not, we use third-party custodians in everything we do.
In everything you do?
We're not a custodian bank.
So your goal, by the way, I don't think that he was technically a custodian either, which is a separate issue.
I think they were. I don't know if there was a real custodian in that closed ledger, but that's a whole other story. You should ask him that question. No, I mean, the transformation, think about it, instantaneous settlement, bonds and stocks. No middlemen. We're going to bring down fees even more dramatically. As for me, I don't have to vote on any shares anymore because the beneficial owner will do all the voting.
And yeah, I mean, the efficiencies of tokenization, they really do change everything, the way that value is created. I always say this, right? Whenever I talk about even XRP or something, I always say the way that value's created, traded, settled, everything is changing rapidly. We are seeing the evolution of finance before our eyes. And I really do think that this is the year for tokenization and digitization to really start becoming a big focus point. It is changing. Everything that we see before our eyes is changing. And it's happening at a very rapid pace. I know for most people it doesn't seem like it, but I'm telling you right now, go and look at anything around tokenization within like the last 6 months, 12 months. Everything as we know it is changing, and it's all focused on the next evolution around around finance technology. And this to me was a big wake up call for anybody out there that was doubting tokenization, because this is BlackRock mentioning how everything, the next generation, will be tokenization. And again, LCX already has the partnerships in place to do this. Good catching up with Brett McDowell at Hedera. This is at Davos. Looking forward to shape the future of crypto assets together. In 2021, Hedera and LCX announced a long-term strategic partnership. LCX fully integrated Hedera Hashgraph tech infrastructure, build maintenance, trained our tech team, and full support, including listing of HBAR. And yes, if you go over here, you can see everything around this. They are developing an infrastructure for digital securities, tokenization of those securities as well. Like here we have to establish a new standard for security tokens and tokenized digital assets. Like I want you all to realize everything that is already in place. Like everything has been built out. Everything is here. All we are waiting for is the adoption. And guess what? The global stock exchange, for an example, $100 trillion plus value. We're seeing the next evolution. You can look at all of the partnerships over here from LCX. You could see all of the major players. Like most of these are projects that we've talked about in the past. Zilliqa, a project that we talked about. Quant, Hedera. I mean, DAG. There's so many here. Chainlink. And there's going to be a lot more. There's going to be a lot more. And a lot of this, like, you need to understand what they are doing, right? Read about what they are doing here. A lot of it is token sales through, again, tokenization and things like that. Like, LCX is becoming a powerhouse behind crypto technology. They're developing infrastructures for digital securities, for tokenization of securities, CBDCs. Like, here's Quant chooses LCX as a partner to enable DLT interoperability. We're going to be talking about that here in a second. I mean, LCX is perfectly positioned. Here's tokenization of digital money and fiat trading pairs. I mean, there's so much happening around tokenization with LCX. And with Quant partners with LCX to advance CBDC settlement implementation. Again, this is the LCX is behind every stepping stone. And I want people to realize, like, you know, it almost is too late. You know, I even said, like, no one will see it until it's too late. I seen people messaging me just the other day, how do I buy LCX? Is now a good time to buy LCX? I'm telling you, no one wants to look at these gems until it's too late. We're back to prices that we haven't seen since May. Prices that we bottomed out at practically back in February and March of 2022. Will we see these prices again that we've seen back in like the end of May and in the June timeframe? It's questionable, right? But I will say this was the perfect time to buy. No one was looking at LCX. We talk about LCX, we talk about these gems all the time on this channel because they are doing incredible things around revolutionizing these markets that are valued in the trillions of dollars. The market cap of this thing, $75 million, fully diluted, $92 million. It is in the number 303 spot. Let's go over here real quick before I wrap this video up to coin perspective. I just want to show you guys real quick what LCX would be trading at if it was in the top 100. Because again, just to get into the top 100, it would be trading at 55 cents. That is well over a 10x from our entry points from this video that I posted just 3 weeks ago. Look at it in the top. Let's go to the top 50, right? Or even just the top 25. Top 25, 40x. 40x from our current price. The top 50, the top 50 would be at 12x. It would be trading at $1.33. And this is at a $1 billion market cap. Remember what I said, even at a $10 billion market cap, with the value that this is going to disrupt, it would be 127x, a $12.90 LCX. Now do you guys realize why I said a 100x is possible? A 100x is possible in my opinion, and a 100x from here to just like a 100x from our current price, I mean, it would be about almost an $8 billion market cap. But a 100x from our entries would be $3, a $2.3 billion market cap. And I wouldn't say it was exactly 3 cents. Maybe it was like $3 and maybe it was like 3.5 cents. $3.50, a $2.7 billion market cap. That is absolutely nothing in the world of tokenization and when we are talking about the future of this market. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.